Welcome one and all to another epic episode of Grudge Match, the show that pits characters against each other who wouldn't normally be able to go head-to-head in order to see who comes out as the best around. Today's matchup compares two characters who may not have many similarities in backstory or personality, but are neck and neck when it comes to their power sets. Representing DC, it's Captain Marvel's nemesis, Black Adam, and from Marvel, the blood brother of Thor, Beta Ray Bill. Taking a look at Black Adam first, he was created way back in 1945, not long after Captain Marvel himself, back under the Fawcett comic imprint. His real name is Teth Adam, and he was an ancient Egyptian prince. He was a precursor to Captain Marvel, chosen by the wizard Shazam to inherit his power and protect the Earth from evil. Come to find out that he actually was not empowered by the wizard Shazam, but by a variety of Egyptian gods instead. But those powers took the form of the same basic powers that Captain Marvel shares: incredible strength, speed, flight, invulnerability, energy manipulation, resistance to magic, all of that stuff. And the Egyptian gods that power him gave him the stamina of Shu, swiftness of Heru, strength of Ammon, wisdom of Zahudi, power of Aton, and courage of Mehin. Now, all of these powers mirror the kind of powers that Captain Marvel would later possess, and make him one of the most enduring and most powerful villains in the entire DC universe. Right up there with characters, of course, like Captain Marvel, as well as Superman, in terms of strength and power. Beta Ray Bill was created in 1983. He comes from a race of aliens known as the Corbinites, and the Corbinites' homeworld was destroyed, and they decided to put all of their faith into one champion who would then lead them to a new world to call their own. And so they chose Beta Ray Bill. He was the most powerful and courageous of their entire race. And so he was enhanced with bionic enhancements to make him even more powerful, and then the entire Corbinite race put themselves into stasis so that Bill could then lead them to their new homeworld. And in doing so, he had a run-in with Thor, and they had a misunderstanding at first and began to fight one another. And Beta Ray Bill was able to actually match Thor in terms of strength, and at one point during the fight, he got his hands on Thor's hammer Mjolnir, and he was found to be worthy enough to wield it and thereby its power as well. Later on, he realized that Thor was indeed a good and noble character himself, so he willingly gave the hammer back to Thor, and in recognition for that and all of his accomplishments, Odin, Thor's father, made a hammer of his own for Beta Ray Bill to have. Crafted in much the same way that Thor's hammer was, it was called Stormbreaker, and it enhanced Beta Ray Bill's physical abilities, as well as gave him many of the same abilities that Thor possesses in terms of weather manipulation, teleportation, flight, and certain amounts of energy manipulation as well. Beta Ray Bill went on to have many adventures alongside Thor, as well as assisting the other Asgardians, and became a very trusted friend and companion to the entire Asgardian race. Now, these two characters are very difficult to determine a winner between because both of their powers are so similar. Both have virtually unlimited levels of strength, speed, endurance, and durability. Both of these characters are incalculably strong. Both of these characters can survive virtually any amount of punishment. Both can move at speeds faster than the speed of light. Both have certain amounts of energy manipulation. Black Adam can call down lightning in order to transform himself from his Teth Adam to his Black Adam form, and can then use that energy and lightning against his opponents. Beta Ray Bill can summon storms and control lightning, much the same way Thor can. Both of these characters are great fighters. Both of these characters are among the most powerful of their respective universes. So it becomes very, very difficult to determine who the winner could be if these two were ever to meet. Not only because of the similarities between them, but also that neither one of these characters have much in the way of weaknesses either. Black Adam does have one slight weakness, in that he has a weakness to high levels of magical power. Certain high enough levels of magical power done by magical beings can cause damage to Black Adam. And Beta Ray Bill's Stormbreaker hammer is of magical origin. However, it's probably not of a high enough magical level in order to do that kind of damage. Both Stormbreaker and Thor's Hammer Mjolnir usually use magical enhancements to increase the physical abilities of their users, either Beta Ray Bill or Thor, making them stronger and more durable. So it wouldn't really create the kind of magical power that would be needed to capitalize on Black Adam's magical weakness. Similarly, Beta Ray Bill doesn't have much in the way of weaknesses either. Some used to think that if you could take his hammer away from him, he would lose all the power associated with it. Much like in the early days of the Thor comics, if you could remove his hammer from his hands, 60 seconds later, Thor would lose all of his power and turn back into his human form. But that's actually not a problem for Beta Ray Bill. He doesn't have an enchantment on Stormbreaker that causes him to lose the power that it affords him after 60 seconds of it being out of his hand. Not to mention the fact that it would be very difficult to remove it from his hands for 60 seconds, since he has control over the hammer even when he's not holding on to it. So neither one of these characters have much in the way of weaknesses, and both of these characters have supreme levels of power. But we have to determine a winner between the two, and though it's an incredibly close fight that could go either way, the winner of this match is going to be Black Adam. The reason Black Adam is going to just barely beat Beta Ray Bill in this grudge match is because where all of their other powers are virtually identical in terms of strength, speed, durability, and some energy manipulation, Black Adam does have one ability that Beta Ray Bill doesn't have, and that is the enhanced wisdom and mental faculties that are granted to him by the energy that empowers him. Much like with Captain Marvel having the wisdom of Solomon, Black Adam has the wisdom of Zehuti. Now this gives him virtually instant access to almost any knowledge and information he would need at any given time. This usually allows him to formulate battle strategies at the drop of a hat. Now Beta Ray Bill is very good at formulating his own battle strategies, but he doesn't have a sort of superpower when it comes to intelligence and figuring out things from a more strategic standpoint the way Black Adam does. So if all of their other abilities are equal, if they are pretty well equal in terms of fighting ability, strength, speed, durability, this one tiny little advantage that Black Adam has, the enhanced mental faculties that allow him to think quicker and have instant access to knowledge the way Beta Ray Bill does not, is going to just push Black Adam over the top and just give him the win of this very, very close grudge match. So message me down below, let me know what you think of this outcome, and of course any suggestions for future episodes. We'll see you next time on the next edition of Grudge Match.